So, hey guys, good evening one and all. I'm Pratik Gorke, working as management head in DSC JSCOE. So, guys, we are very happy to see you back again. So, in last session, you have already seen installing Android Studio, basics of Android and Kotlin, also creating a birthday wishes card application. So, today we are back with a new energy, new data, and new journey. So, without wasting time, let's move back to session. So, yeah, okay. So these are the two So these are the two tracks which you will be completing. In last session, the first track was covered. So we will go with the second track, which is Android Kotlin Fundamental. So let's start with the course. So here, okay, okay. So here you will encounter two units. Let's move with the unit one. And in unit one, there are 5 badges. That is, you have to complete these 5 chapters. So the first one is the building your first app. So let's explore the first chapter, that is building your first application. So here we will be building a simple Android application for gaining confidence. The first basic step is to install Android Studio. So I assume that you have already installed Android Studio. So here you will see some documentary info. That is, yeah. So this is all documentary info. You can read it for if you haven't installed the Android Studio. So you can take help and you can install the Android Studio. The installing of Android Studio was covered in previous session. So yeah. So this is the main part. So here, what you will be learning in this chapter. So how to build basic Android application in Android Studio, how to create Android project from a template, how to find the major components of an Android project, and how to run Android application on emulator or physical devices. So here, before before building any kind of application, you should know or you should have a picture in mind that what exactly we are going to develop. So here is it. So this is our overview of our application. So next, to create a Hello World project, so go to file and click new project and click with empty activities. At last stage, you will have to name your project, that you can name whatever you can and leave other setting as it is. So this is where you can choose empty activity and you can name your project. So here it is named as the Hello World, and you must choose the language as Kotlin. And at last you have to click finish. So after clicking finish, you will be taken to the next page, that is like this. So these are the some basics of Android which was covered in last session. So we will be direct going to the main part. So these are the some documentary parts which is already covered. So yeah, here. So you can create Android virtual device as we have already discussed. So you can run your application by pressing run button on the Android Studio. So after running, you will be see something like this. If you are using the virtual devices, you will face this interface. Else you can run with your virtual devices also. So yeah. So here we are back with some coding challenges. So you have to use your experience and the knowledge in this course, and you can complete this challenge. After completing challenge, this is the summary of the chapter we have seen. So next, learning more. Yeah. So here you can, if you want to explore some new points and some new concepts in the Android with the Kotlin, you can use this also. And at last, you have to check your experience and what you have gained. So we brought a homework for you. So you have to complete this homework and submit as soon as possible. As we are tracking your records, so it is must for all. And here, next code lab. So this is the basic extra application which is anatomy for the basic Android project. So you can develop this project by your own self also. So here are the basics, all steps are mentioned, so you can refer that, and with that you can develop. It is optional for the chapter. So when you click done, you have to give a quiz. That is the main part of this chapter. Yeah, a quiz. So here you can check your knowledge about the chapter or the what you have learned in this chapter. So when we click take the quiz here, all the basic questions will be here. So you have to answer the questions, and if you score 4 out of 5, then and then only you will gain a badge. So let me help you with this. So this is that dash dash is an integrated development environment or IDE used for building Android application. Obviously, Android Studio, as we are conducting session on the Android Studio itself. So Android Studio. Yeah. So what is the next question? What is name of the auto-generated layout file in the new project you created with Android Studio? So this concept was cleared in the last session, which is the basics of Android. So its answer is activity main.xml. Yeah. And the third question, the Android manifest XML file contains important information that the Android system needs to run app. Choose two from which following the list that should be defined in the Android manifest.xml. So as we have already discussed, Android manifest.xml consists of the activities in the app, and also it consists the permission like camera, location, and etc. And in Android Studio, which tool do you use to create a new virtual device? Obviously, you know the answer. That is AVD Manager. That is AVD stands for Android Virtual Device. And at last, fill in the blanks. Dash dash is the build automation system that uses the domain specific language to describe the app, project, structure, configuration, and dependencies. So Gradle is the right answer for that. And when you click the submit answer, so you will see your progress. That is, your score is 5 out of 5. And congratulations, you have passed this pathway. So by like this, you have to complete all remaining 4. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So you can see all the badges on your dashboard. And now let's move to the second chapter, that is, just a minute. Yeah. So here, yeah, the second chapter, build an interactive application. If you completed anatomy app in the previous, yeah. So if you already completed the anatomy app in the previous chapter, then if you don't need to do it again. It will be automatically marked as completed. So without wasting time, let's see an image resource and compatibility. So here, take the code lab and you will be taken to this page. So this is all means reading stuff you can read. So this is the overview. Like in previous application, it was not that much interactive. So you can make it an interactive application by using images in that. So you can use image resources so as to build your application in more interactive way. Yeah, so this is okay. So you can add image here. You can add image in drawable, that is here, drawable, and in that resource and drawable file. So you can add your own, or you can download it from the internet, so you can use that. They have provided their here, they have provided their images, so you can use that directly. So you can download this zip file and use it wherever it is necessary. Okay, and yeah, this is update layouts to use scenes and images. So you can adjust the layouts as you need, so as to make a better app. Here, moving down. Yeah, yeah. So find view efficiently. So we need to adjust the views of the dice so as to it looks good. Follow the steps given, that is use default images or you can use your own. It depends on you. And understand the APIs and levels and compatibility. So we already discussed this at the beginning of the project. That is, we used KitKat 4.4 so as to support all the Android applications. So this is the initial part of the Android project. So yeah, if you stuck at some step, you can take the help from the solution code, but you don't have to copy it and directly paste it so as to complete the challenge. You can just refer this code for your help. And if you stuck somewhere, then we are here to help you with that. So now you complete here coding challenge. Yeah. So now you have to complete all the challenges and the introductory document you can see and you can use while developing your application. And at last, same as previous, you have to complete quiz, but this time I won't be telling you the answer. Yeah. So this is homework. You have to complete it itself by yourself. And this is the next code lab. Learn to help yourself. So there are some basic documents that you can use for helping yourself. There are some basic concepts of the Kotlin which you can be using. And there are some shortcuts that will be beneficial for you. And if you go back, so you have to give the, yeah, and if you move back you have to give a quiz so as to check your knowledge, but this time I won't be telling you answer, so do it on your own basis and earn a badge. Okay, so these are the questions. You can solve it by yourself. Oh, but let me help you with this one. Other three you have to solve it on your basis. So which method on the activity inflates the app layout and makes the views and its view hierarchical available for you to modify? Obviously, views on create method in the Android application for this. Yeah. Which attribute do you use to set the width of the view and adjust it to fit the content inside it? So we use Android layout, that is width or height, but we are using here width, and wrap content is used for the wrapping whichever the screen size is. So its answer is Android layout width wrap content. Yeah. Third question is which image view attribute indicates a source image that will be only be displayed as preview in Android Studio? Okay. So can you guess? If you know the answers, you can comment in the comment box. Okay, I can see some comments. It's tool source. Yeah. Yeah, this is difficult question. What does the let init keyword in the variable declaration indicates in Kotlin code? Can you guess it? Yeah, it's so easy. As the word itself tells that let init, that is late initialization or later initialization. Yeah. What is the fifth question? Which API level indicates the highest Android version that your app has been tested with. Okay, so this concept is covered at the introduction to the Android Studio. You have to choose at the starting up while creating new Android application. So we use target SDK, that is we are targeting some devices that is Android 4.4, like that. And at last, you see an important statement in your code that starts with Android DX. What does this means? Okay, so Android X means it comes with the Android Jetpack libraries. So that can be used. It contains some inbuilt method which can be used. So let's check our answers. And we are right. We have scored 6 out of 6. Like this, I have completed my second pathway. So in the similar way, you have to complete all other pathways. That is, so you can complete all other batches also. Just a minute. Yeah. So now the bonus time. That is, we are going to, just a minute. Yeah. So this is bonus time. In bonus to this course, we are also showing how to develop a tic-tac-toe game. That is very much interesting, right? So let me share the screen. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yeah. So you have to create a new project, as we have already mentioned that go to the file and then click the new file, and then you have to create a new project and select the basic activities, that is empty activity, and create, and make sure that you have also selected that is language Kotlin. So after creating, we get this, that is activity.main.xml. So basically our application will be looking like this. Yeah, like this. So this will be basic tic-tac-toe game of 3 by 3. So let me show how we develop this. So first move to the Android XML. That is, we are using table layout for 3 rows and 3 columns. So we have taken rows, table row, and in a single table row, like let me split it. Yeah. So this is our first row, and in a single row, I have taken 3 buttons. That is button 1, button 2, so this button 2 and button 3. So these are the 3 buttons we are taking in a single row, and in similarly we are taking 2 rows more, that is 3 rows and 3 columns. So we are getting that, and I have mentioned their parameters like width, height, margin. So you can customize by it your own self. And I have given IDs to each button, like this is BU1, this is the ID of the button, this is BU2. So similarly, you have to give the ID for each button, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Similarly, we are done with our XML file, that is front end part. So let's move to the back end part. So this is main activity.kt, as it comes with the .kt extension because we are developing it in a Kotlin. So it is .kt. Sanket, am I clearly visible? My screen is visible clearly. Hello, Sankit, are you there?
Yeah, Pratik, go ahead. Everything is fine.
Okay, okay. I see some comments. Screen is not visible. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Issue is solved.
Okay. So this is the main activity.kt. We get .kt extension because it is in Kotlin. That's why it is .kt. So this is our main activity. You don't have to code it. It comes automatically. So the main part came from here. That is bu click. This is the function. Fun stands for the function, and bu click is the function we have written in Android main dot. For every single button you have provided this function, that is on click bu click. So when we click this button, it will be automatically redirected to the this, that is function bu click, and we have passed view as a view. So in that we have created value, that is bu selected view as a button. So by this you will get all the properties of button to the bu selected, that is this value. And we have also initialized one variable, that is cell id, that is 0. So as I told, that these are the cells 1 2 3. So we are using that for the next logic. So this is cell id, we have assigned it to the 0. So here we stand, like when uh, in Kotlin we use when rather than the switch case. So when bu.selected.id, so we are getting that which button is selected. Like if you have selected one, first, second, or third, so it will get automatically. So we have written the conditions here. r.id.bu1, that is when we click the button 1, it will be redirected to the cell id 1. So it will assign 1 to the cell id. So similarly, I have assigned bu.2. It means that when you click second button, 2 will be assigned as to the cell ID. Similarly, up to the 9, as we have 9 cells. Okay, so this is the part of the selection. So let's start the main logic, that is play game function. So this is the play game function, and we are passing this cell ID and bu select. That means this bu select view as a button. So we are passing these two parameters to the function, that is play games. And here we initialized two players, that is we are playing, two players are playing there. So player 1 and player 2. So these are the two players, like array list for the player 1 and second array list for the player 2. And this variable active player is used for the changing players chance, like one is playing right now, then other player must play after that player. So for alternating the choices, we have used this variable, that is active player. So by this we can know that is whether player 1 is active or player 2 is active. So this is, we have written the play game function here, as we have called from here. So it will take you here, and in which we have cell ID, which has int type, and bu selected, which has button type, as we have mentioned here, that this will be the button. So here we are checking if active player equals to once. That means the player one is playing right now. So bu dot selected text. So this p1 will be shown when you click the button. The button will change its color. That it will be changed something to this, as I have mentioned hexadecimal code. So it will change its color, and this will be text appear on that button. And the player one dot add, that is variable one, that is array list. So these, whichever the player one will select, that will be added to the array list of that player one. And the chance will be given to the player 2, that is active player equals to 2. So it will, next chance will be for player 2. So in else part, bu selected dot text p2. So p2 appear on the next player's side, and it color will be different from the player one, so they can distinguish between them. So whichever the box player two will choose, so it will be added to player two. that is array list of player 2, and again the chance will be given back to the player 1, that is by assigning the value active player equals to 1. So this is the simple logic for alternating the game's choices. Yeah. So here, and once the button is selected, like once player one click the first button, then it won't be again clickable. That's why we have mentioned this, that bu selected is enable equals to false, means whichever button is selected by the player is won't be available for the next player. So that's why we mentioned this condition here. And at last we have to check the condition, like who is the winner among the two players. So we have given this function, that is check winner, and we have declared it here, that is private function check winner 2. So here we are assigning, that is variable winner equals to -1. So it is initial condition for the winner, that is no one is in winner. So we are checking some conditions here. So let's check for the row 1, that is first row. It contains three blocks, right? 1, 2, and 3. So for player 1, this is the function, that is player 1 dot array. That player 1 is the array list. So player 1 dot contains 1, and player 1 dot contains 2 and 3. So similarly it will check for the whether player 1 array list contains 1, 2, and 3. If yes, then winner will be 1. And similarly it will check for the player 2 also. If the player 2 selected first box, second box, and third box, then the winner will be second player. So similarly we will check for the row 2, row 3. So these are the numbers, that is 4, 5, 6. These are the block numbers which we have already given to the blocks, that is bu1, bu2, like that. So we are completed here. Up to here we have completed with the rows. So now we are checking with the columns, that is first column, second column, and third column. So here we are checking with the first column first element, that is 1, first column second element, that is 4, and first column third element, that is 7. So we are checking in vertical direction, that is first, fourth, and seventh. So similarly for column 2, and similarly for the column 3. So these are the basic conditions. And you can also add the cross condition also, that is first, fifth, and ninth, that is cross block. Like let me show you, that is first, and this is the cross line, and these also. So you can add these conditions also, as I have added here. So these are the cross conditions for player 1 and the player 2 also. So by adding these conditions you can add winner 1 or winner 2. And here for the vertical cross and a horizontal cross, we have added these two conditions. And at last we are checking if winner is not equals to null, that is there must be a winner, like this is not condition that no one is the winner. So if this condition true, then it will be like match is draw. But if we have winner equals to 1, then we will be making toss top, that player 1 won the toss, or where player 1 won the game, and it will be displayed on the screen. And if winner equals to 2, then we will display a message that player 2 won the game. Yeah, and similarly you can add some functions like autoplay also, that is gaming, but that is complex part. You must go with this simple part first, so that you can learn the basics of the. So let me show you its running application, as I don't have, as my laptop doesn't support to the Android virtual device. So I run on the physical device on my mobile, and I have a screen recording. So have a look. So these are the players selecting their choices. So player 2 selected this. Now player 2 chance. Yeah, player 1 select this. So player 1 won the game. So like this your application will run. So this is the bonus part of today's session. Okay. So at last there is one final announcement, that is we are arranging Android development competition. We are proud and happy to announce that we are conducting Android application development competition. So our coordinators will provide a link for the submission in next session. Till that you have to develop a simple application, and we will check that applications, and The winning application will be shared with the Google social media handle. This will be the golden opportunity for you to being on the social media, also the Google social media. So don't miss this opportunity. And I end up this session here. You have to complete all your tasks and complete the badges till the next session. In next session, we will be completing chapter 2, unit second. That will be completion of this track. So I handle the session to the Sanket. Sanket.